Yo, what's up everybody, and welcome to this matchup between Leetpro Esports and Goliath Gaming. Kicking off with a knife round at the moment to determine who's going to be starting on what side. Should be an interesting matchup here between two of the top flight teams in South Africa. A little asterisk that needs to be noted is Leetpro will be using a sub tonight in the form of Narf. He's going to be standing in for Bananas, who I believe has got a birthday weekend. So he's having a night with the family or something along those lines. Happy birthday in advance, Mr. Bananas. Hopefully his team can bring him a present, although I'm sure the birthday weekend he'll be hoping for will be a successful rush weekend. Of course, we've got the Metal State LAN coming up, and this is a great opportunity for these teams to brush up on a map like Dust 2 and have a look at how aggressive Goliath Gaming are getting right from the outset here towards middle. Adara with an opportunity to catch one. Does fluff his shots though, and that's going to prompt Leetpro to get very aggressive here towards the A-bomb side. Slowly with an opportunity to catch Neff up before he's able to boost up Lift, and they know that Deviant will certainly be in the vicinity as well. Massacre at least able to grab a frag back for the CTs, make that retake that much easier, but frags not going the way of Goliath Gaming. In fact, Adara the only player remaining, and without further ado, he gets taken down as well. So Leetpro and Goliath Gaming with a very aggressive pistol round straight out of long doors and onto the A-bomb site, and pans out perfectly well for them. Going back to the point I was making about this weekend, of course there's that big LAN coming up, first of the year, at least first major LAN of the year, with all the top teams, and both of these teams have only got one official on Dust 2. So something that they're going to be a little bit concerned about maybe going into the weekend. So at least they're going to have some game time under the belt. Of course, they would have been playing it in practice, but nothing like really testing what you've got going then when playing it in an official. Slowly going to be smoking off Xbox and rotating back around to B. They have lost a player quite early on here. Zio got taken down at long, so that's a MAC-10 that's been picked up by the CTs, and you can see that it's going to prompt the terrorists to go straight onto the B bomb site. They're going to take down Adara, the lone player. Massacre responding first to try and catch a pick before the bomb does go down. Really difficult site to retake. Once the terrorists have complete control and even a little bit of extra equipment to work with post-plant, it becomes an absolute nightmare. Whether they drop a smoke or a Molotov, just delaying that much longer. So many angles to check as soon as you push into the site as well. So you can see Goliath Gaming just posting for a couple of exit frags. Don't want to commit themselves to anything here. Of course, they can take these upgraded pistols and armor into the next round, where they would otherwise be full ecoing. Neff might have an opportunity to get some extra cash with this MAC-10, although it gives his position away there as he fires towards Tian. But Deviants and Goals still able to come good for 2 frags, so they're going to be really pleased with the end result there, forcing Leetpro to rebuy 3 weapons, and although they got the bomb down, the economy will not be in as good a position in which it would have. As noted, Goliath Gaming going to be saving here one more time. Got those previously saved pistols, but you can see the buy from Leetpro coming out here is not going to be one to be messing with. Neff, the only player towards B, is going to be calling for support to come through. He's got the MAC-10 to work with, at least the one player with an upgraded weapon. He's able to find one, surely not anything else. He's going to be pleased with that result. In fact, it gives enough time for Adara to come through. Narf's only on 61, so he's going to be fairly vulnerable as well. And as you can see on the minimap there, Deviant has got the rotate to the flank coming through. Sorry, I'm going to have to put my phone on mute. Generally remember to do that, not this time. Bomb does go down, no kits to work with, so it's going to have to be the brute force play coming through here from the terrorist. Adara is going to be leading the charge. He's able to spot out 2 players, not connecting any shots though, and that's going to be costly, as if he was able to find that frag a little bit quicker, maybe keep himself alive. Goliath Gaming might have had a sniff of that. Regardless, again, a successful eco round from them. Picking up another 2 frags, and you can see exactly what that's done. It's kept the terrorist economy in check. Even though they've picked up the first 3 rounds, they haven't steamrolled ahead. And if Goliath can pick up this round, this first buy round, Leetpro are going to have to be saving. Slowy got the AWP nice and early on here. He's spotting Adara jiggling left and right there towards mid doors. And firm long control coming out here from Goliath Gaming. You can see heavy emphasis and presence here, making sure they get this control with 3 players. And then once Deviant is posted towards Ditch, just outside, they leave him there by himself. And that's great play from the CTs, because what that means that if there is an aggressive play there from the terrorists, they've got the numbers to deal with it. Very default setup coming out here from Goliath Gaming. Only thing that may be a bit off is the fact that Goals has got no support immediately from middle. Adara would have to cross to be able to get up there, and that never something that you can commit to without being worried about perhaps being picked by an AWP holding an angle. Looks like Leetpro are starting to group themselves up towards long and perhaps short. We've got Zio just clearing out the angles up ahead, just starting to get some headway and create a bit of space. Emphasis coming towards long though, and it's going to be up to Deviant with no support whatsoever to try and get something done here. Naf is going to be the first player to swing. He gets the damage down, but doesn't come through with the frag. And that's going to make Nef's job a lot harder, as he's got two angles to contend with. Adara is going to be coming through to support him. He's going to be looking towards middle. Zio does come through. You can see them just crossing through the edge of the smoke there. Adara, thinking he's covered by his teammates, unfortunately gets taken down. Nef eventually does bring down Zio, but the bomb goes down, and they're going to look for a cheeky boost jab. Massacre going to be able to come through with the frag. That makes it 3 versus 2 all of a sudden. In fact, actually, Massacre gets 2 from the boost. Tuckball going to have to get a lot of work done from up close. He was able to get 1, but that's all it's going to be, is Naf all the way over in ditch. For some reason, the director's not changing. He's got the orb. The bomb is planted for him as well. Goals doesn't have a kit nor a smoke to work with. An opportunity to land the shot. He does just connect. Doesn't realize that he's immediately killed him, but plenty of time to get the defuse in the end. And an unlikely retake actually comes through for Goliath. That was a really influential boost that came out from Massacre there on top of Nef, picking up a quick 2 picks on the A-bomb side, completely disrupting the setup that Leetpro had in the post plant. Naf also getting a little bit overzealous there by swinging out of ditch. The bomb wasn't exactly planted for him though, so it's probably a move that he had to make regardless. Leetpro getting aggressive here towards long this time. Once again, 4 players out. They have decided to force up in the round, but have a look at their buy. 2 pistols, really no equipment to speak of either, so they're going to be playing as a pod, just trying to trade off of one another. Keep the pistols amongst the rifles as well, so that they can immediately pick up a rifle should it go down. Can't afford to be leaving an AK on the ground when you do have such a weak buy. Zio finds a very quick pack. In fact, he finds the double. He's going to be continuing the crusade forward slowly, and Tianki making absolutely no mistakes. These AK-47s coming through very powerfully for Leetpro in this round. And that's going to be really frustrating for Goliath Gaming, considering how the round started out in terms of weaponry. Goals with an opportunity to maybe find a frag, but even that's not going to go his way. Leetpro keep 4 players alive. Very, very dominant push coming out from them. Of course, they are playing with the sub, but a map like Dust 2 is a map in which a substitute is not as much of a hindrance as it is in a lot of other maps. Of course, this map does come a lot more down to aim duels. There's a ton of long passageways, which generally the players with the better aim come out on top of. And you can see that Goliath Gaming are actually going to go for the full force here. I'm really surprised by this decision, because it's so early on in the game that they don't need to be overcommitting. Deviant going down very early on in the round, and that's going to give full long control to the terrorists so early on in the round. Nef with the perfect peek with the Desert Eagle looks to get another one. Gets taken down though, and the terrorists do gain control of the A-bomb site now, as Zio just controlling top and middle, not going to have any trouble taking down 2 frags. I'm going to just leave it on auto direct a little bit more. It's a bit difficult to try and track the action while keeping tabs on what's going on in front of me. Goal's able to get 1 and an AK-47. Actually quite surprised to see him committing to this. Doesn't even have the kit to work with. And he's going to make the wiser decision to back off, try and save the AK, but you can bet your top dollar that Slowy is going to try to disrupt that plan. And so the rest of the boys, Slowy's just going to spot him as he crosses towards... Well, I don't even know what you would really call this. I mean, tempted to call it T-spawn, but this is going into tunnels now. And he is going to be hotly contested to try and save this weapon. In fact, he's going to get caught from behind any moment now. Simple bait and switch coming out from the terrorists, slowly just taking the attention. And Naf coming through with the flank. Leetpro go 5-1 up. And on the back of that force, Goliath Gaming are now going to have to eco. This is a map that we have seen predominantly a CT-sided map, surprisingly. If I have been reading correctly on the international scene, a lot of teams have been making some powerful comebacks on the CT side, and it's not something that the map was previously known for. May just be... I may not have enough to read off, considering that the map hasn't been in the competitive pool for long enough, but at the moment, Leetpro making this look like a very T-sided map. Having said that, I mean, we've only seen one full buy round coming out from Goliath Gaming. Excuse me, two. The round that they won and the round they lost immediately after. So the scoreline is not something that they have to be incredibly concerned about. They need to get the AWPs up. They need to start getting a little bit more comfortable with their structure. Once they've settled down, won't be making things look as easy as they are for Leetpro at the moment. Not that they are easy, but just getting control certain areas on the map a bit early on, I'd say. Taking short, a minute 25 seconds left on the clock, getting long control as well. You could see in the buy round that Goliath won. They took long control with 3 players and dispersed themselves again. Deviant with no armor at all is going to take an AWP shot through the door and end whatever hopes and dreams he had of achieving in that round. You can see there's plenty of money on the CTs to work with, but not necessarily for a full double AWP setup, which they may be wanting to go to. And in fact, they're going to go for the double eco here. Probably the wiser decision. Still plenty of time to pull the half back. And enough money in the bank to get an upgraded pistol and armor buy. Goals does catch a shot through the door as he crosses towards B, and that's one of the most frustrating things about this map as a CT. The fact that you don't even have an opportunity to see a player, and there's a chance of you dying within like the first 4 seconds of the round. Very passive here from Leetpro, mixing it up a little bit. They're not entirely sure what they're going up against just yet. Just scouting it out and trying to get a bit of information. You can see they have got 2 players slowly working up through long here. Tianki along with Mr. Naf. The bomb following through as well. Neff does find one on shorts, and he's got a teammate to walk with him. Nasika, though, not going to be able to get anything done once the hit comes onto the A bomb site. Neff with the run and gun, actually landing a couple of shots. Nothing lethal, though. Deviant going to be the next to respond. He gets the same treatment. Really just about trying to deal a little bit of damage here for Goliath Gaming at the latter stage of this round as the bomb has gone down. Adara got the AK-47 and armor as well, but trying to retake in the 1 versus 4 at least. Goals seems to be saving, so he's going to be making the same decision. So Leetpro off to a magnificent start here, 7-1. But as I'd said, we have only so far seen 2 full buy rounds coming out of Goliath Gaming, so it's a bit deceptive. The next buy round is going to be of utmost importance for Leetpro, should they want to, or excuse me, for Goliath Gaming, should they want to claw themselves back into this half year. If Leetpro does continue this crusade, it's going to put them in a bit of a difficult position to get back in the next half. Of course, as I said earlier, both of these sides pretty much boil down to which half you prefer as a team. Adara with the AWP going to be making his way towards middle. And Goals, the lone player towards B. That same default setup taking long with 3 players. And a flippin' beautiful shot coming out there from Adara in middle. But absolutely nullified by the fact that Goliath Gaming lose 2 players in return towards long. Massacre at least able to respond, catching Naf off guard there, who certainly wasn't expecting the 3rd player to be in the vicinity. Massacre trades up for the AWP as well, so they do maintain the double AWP setup for the time being. Leetpro gathered up with their remaining 3 players towards middle, and they're just going to be smoking off CT, potentially pushing up towards the B bomb site. Adara looking for an angle through the smoke. He's not going to be finding one. Going to be up to Goals to try and get some work done here. He takes the attention. That allows Adara to come through, but Slow is waiting for it. Makes no difference as Goals lines them up and knocks them down, picking up a triple, and a very important triple kill at that. Would have been incredibly disappointing if they had gone on to lose the round off the back of that great start by Adaro, landing a very eloquent flick shot there towards... didn't actually see who exactly that was, but I think it was Zio, if I'm not mistaken. So, Slowy does get spotted out by Adaro, and he looks to be getting very aggressive here towards middle. He only got the UMP to work with, and he's actually catching a ton of bullets through the door, down to 61 points of health. Going to try and look up to pop flash himself through a very aggressive player, and it pays massive dividends as he catches Slowy off. Zero at least able to trade it back with the AWP. Goal's trying to peer over the smoke and see if he can find a second frag, but in the end just gives his life away. And that opens up the B bomb site. Forces a rotation from A as well. Massacre making his way towards middle. Zio does spot one rotating up towards B. I'm not sure if he spots Massacre as well. Goliath gaming the back of perhaps a flash or a tiny bit of presence from Leetpro at B. I'm going to rotate across, and this is a really smart play coming out here from Leetpro, smoking of CT, faking the B fake. It's a strategy they just attempted, and Goliath Gaming has zero information as to what's going on here. Neff tries to get a bit of a wider angle towards short. Zio waiting with arms wide open, and that is the A bomb side completely in control of the terrorists. Goliath Gaming staring down the barrel of a pretty harsh reset here. It might set them instead for a double eco if they don't save a couple of weapons in this round. All three players do have kits, and they're in fairly close proximity as well, so you wouldn't blame them for trying to go for this. Massacre starts off the proceedings well by finding a pick. Does get some information with the jump up as well. His teammate Deviant making his way up long. They've made some good ground here, getting some good control, but the frags are going in favor of Leetpro. Tuckbook looking to close out the round, and he's going to do so with 12 points of health remaining. Very powerful round coming out from Leetpro, finding important frags across the board and absolutely resetting the economy of Goliath Gaming. Does look like Neff has timed out. I'm sure he'll be back shortly. Let's just have a look if he's online. Yeah, he's back in game, so should be joining the game shortly. What an explosive start here from Leetpro. As I said at the start of this, both of these teams only have one official on Dust 2 to date within the past at least 5 weeks. Heading into Rush this weekend, that might be a bit of a factor, but they're not the only team who hasn't been playing Dust. It's a little bit frustrating because teams have been avoiding Dust as well as Nuke, so we're almost down to a 5 active map pool. But I'm hoping we're going to be seeing this map quite frequently. For anyone who's not sure what I'm talking about, of course, there is the Metal State LAN coming up this weekend at Rush. I'm going to be there as well. I'm going to be casting Quake, so that's going to be interesting. First time I've casted the game. Certainly been brushing up on my knowledge, but looking forward to it. Actually, the third game I've casted now. I've done Counter-Strike as my main. Did some work for PUBG, and now trying my hand at Quake. Counter-Strike will always be the main game, though, of course. Got the side games, and you got the main game. It's all about maintaining the main game. Neff back in the game. Guys, while we're paused at the moment, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. What that would mean is once I reach 100, I can get a custom URL for my stream, and it won't be a cluster of a random cluster of letters and numbers, which has absolutely no relevance whatsoever. That would be great. I'd really appreciate that, guys. Goliath Gaming gonna have to eco here, but Neff has actually decided to force buy. Deviant looks like he's going to be committing to it as well, and yeah, this is an interesting decision coming out from Goliath. I didn't see if they would have had enough money. Yeah, I mean, they've got a really hard reset on them here. So it's one of those decisions that they either need to win this round, keep themselves in the half, or it's probably going to be a write-off regardless. Having a look at the scoreboard quickly just before we jump back into the game. Zio having a flyer, 14-5 at the moment. Narf not far behind, Super Sub, 9-5. Narf and I go back quite a while, all the way back to COD 4 days. Tuckbook, he played that game too. In fact, nearly the whole of the Leetpro squad have a COD 4 background, and you can see the aggression coming out from Leetpro, going straight into the B bomb side. Deviant, the only player here. In fact, they haven't spotted him just yet, so he has the opportunity to pounce, but now he is trapped like a rat in a corner, and he is going to get removed. And this is not looking good for Goliath Gaming, although Dara with the aggression pays off. He's able to get one. Nearly catches Typebook right. He's going to go for the knife somehow. Typebook is completely flashed. The knife comes through. He goes for the AK. Nearly catches another one. Leetpro able to resolve the situation into a 2 versus 2, but Goals is there to immediately respond. He gets a couple of shots off, takes down Tian, who seems to not have head armor. Going down with the one-shot headshot from the M4. Neff going to be pushing through the smoke with the Desert Eagle. Naf fakes the plant. And I'm a lack of words here as he's missing his shots. Naf down to a mere individual point of health. Or individual digits. I didn't even get to see, but he was really low there. Must have been in the region of 2 health or something along those lines. Chaos. Only word to describe what just went down, and Goliath Gaming nearly came out on top. Leetpro going to persist with the aggressive play here. Slowy, he leads the charge. Flashes are perfect, but he's not able to get the damage done before the players do become unblind. Fortunately, Naf comes good with the triple. Massacre, the only player remaining in ditch now. A lone USP. Actually lands a nice dink onto Tianki, but that's all it's going to be. As Tuckbook doesn't hesitate in taking him down. Goals now the only player remaining once again, and this is the theme for the B player, man. On a lot of maps. You do a lot of retaking, and especially when you play against a team that specifically favors the A-bomb site, and they're really good at it, you end up being the last man alive against a couple players fairly consistently, and it's a bit of a nightmare. Very important round here for Goliath Gaming. In fact, probably the round they need to keep their head above the water. Of course, can never write off a team until the game is completely over, but they want to give themselves something to work with going into the next half. Adaro looking to find that opening once again through middle. Perfect flash is actually going to force him off the angle, and that gives Slowy an opportunity to take some shots towards mid. Needs to be careful because he is playing dangerously. Flash going to come through. Adaro just able to dodge it in time, but that has forced him off the position now. Some effective equipment use and presence from Leetpro has meant that they've now forced Goliath Gaming to relinquish control and information. Massacre, though, still able to find a frag, and no opportunity to trade that out coming through from Leetpro. Zio slowly making his way up with the AWP. A position that Goliath Gaming have not been contending in the buy rounds whatsoever. Very happy to give that up to Leetpro and try and control it from the bomb sites. Zio has been abusing them quite a lot. As you can see, once again, just slowly peeking with the AWP. Naf is going to get fought elsewhere on the map, and he gets taken down. So finally a 2-man advantage here for Goliath Gaming. Zio looking to land the impossible shot there. And, well, I mean, you can't win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket, so no harm, no foul. Have a look at Massacre here, getting very aggressive through long. He's going to get a great bout of information here. He's able to get the pick onto Zio. The spray down comes through onto Slowy as well. And Leetpro find themselves in an unfamiliar situation here with a 1 versus 5 situation. With the 1 versus 5. Tianki, 14 seconds left. Going to receive the same treatment as his teammates, and a very important round coming through for Goliath Gaming, keeping all 5 players alive. They're actually able to salvage a second AWP as well, so they're going to get a free double AWP setup, and you feel like they're going to have to win out the rest of the rounds in this half to give themselves something feasible to work with going into the next 4 rounds at least. Would be probably the bare minimum. You can see the buy coming out here from Leetpro is not ideal, and if they lose this round, it's going to be even worse for them. One player commits through the Molotov. A great flash there from Massacre's teammates are going to allow him to find the pick. That does not bode well for Leetpro as Zio gets taken down in middle as well. They're starting to lead to their own demise as the aggression with which they're persisting has not been working out in the past couple of rounds. Need to go back to the defaults, taking it nice and slow. Force the picks, force rotations. Goals Very aggressive there through lowers. It's something that they haven't been shy of doing. We saw in the previous round, Massacre going through long goals. Now with his knife out, in fact, this man has got no scam. Going all the way through towards T-spawn, but Tianqi finding a free frag. Sometimes the scoreboard creates a bit of unwarranted confidence in a team. And you tend to start doing things that you haven't been doing for the rest of the half, and it actually costs you a couple of frags, and in turn you start giving confidence back to your opponents. You can see Goliath Gaming looking a little bit more revitalized in these past 2 rounds. Deviant, the long player here for Goliath, is going to have to try and lock it down. The remaining 2 Leetpro players are going to be coming through. He's able to spot the flash, so he knows they're going to be here. Plays it smart by not giving them any idea that he's going to be in the ditch. Holds the perfect angle, able to take down Tianqi, and Tuckbork now makes his presence known. At least he does find the frag, but that's all it's going to be as Neff comes through with the AWP and takes him down. So Goliath Gaming picking up 2 consecutive rounds. Now the first time this half they've found consecutive rounds. Don't be alarmed, Neffan is not 1 for 2, or Neff rather. He did reconnect a couple rounds back. Imagine, 1 kill, 2 deaths. It's been like the ultimate saver, having absolutely no presence in the game. No, that's not what happened. And as I requested, much more passive default coming out here from Leetpro, just posting some players and waiting for that potential aggression to come out of Goliath, which they have been so relentless with. Neff has got the AWP towards B, so something that I have picked up early on here is that Goliath seem to, well, I mean, no surprises there, but seem to be committing the double AWP between Adara and Neff. Of course, Neff was the primary AWPer before Adara joined the team. Not sure exactly how they've shifted between that. Nice to see them changing up positions though, with Neff going to lock down the B bomb site with the AWP. Does give you a ton of positional advantage playing at the back of the bomb site here. Leetpro though setting themselves up for an A split. You can see 3 players towards middle. They are going to smoke and flash their way through now. Naf going to be the first player of entry, and he's actually able to find a pick though. It does go traded plenty for Goliath. All of a sudden, Tuckbork is the only player remaining. He goes for the push straight through the smoke. In fact, he actually finds the frag onto Yodaro. He does pick up an AK-47 as well, but he doesn't expect Deviant to be coming through with the flank. And that's going to mean that Goliath Gaming are able to salvage the last 3 rounds of the first half, going 10-5. And that's going to boost their confidence somewhat going into the second half. How are you guys finding the quality of the stream? The video quality, has it been pretty consistent? From my side, it looks a little bit grainy, and I think that's because of my CPU. I only have an i5-6500, but it should be alright. I haven't seen anybody complaining about it in the past few nights, which I'm quite happy about. Leetpro certainly probably outdone their own expectations here with a 10-5 half, playing with the substitutes. CT side is very communication based on this map, so that might lead to a few errors. What I mean by saying that is it's really important the information that you share with your teammates and the setup that it results in you guys moving into. 2 players with equipment here for Goliath Gaming. Double smoke for Adara and Massacre, and well, rather smoke on Adara and Massacre. Double flashes to work with as well, and you can see that they have a presence of their own towards long, with a couple of flashes, and not going to be contested whatsoever here by Leetpro. In fact, they're trying to use the range as much as they can, or use the range advantage as much as they can. Zio might catch goals off guard here, who's peeking for a little bit of information. Both of them able to make it away with trading a couple of shots. Nothing lethal as of yet. But this is great for Leetpro because they've managed to corral the Goliath players into 2/3 of the map. And it actually is going to force them to hit straight onto the A bomb sites. How do Leetpro deal with this? Tianqi is going to be the first point of contact. Slowy there to respond as well. Naf come through. And in fact, they're going to swing wide onto the players towards long. Tian comes through as well as Deviant. Frags being traded back and forth here. Tuckbork, the only player remaining on the bomb side. Excuse me, Tian is there as well. Slowly went down towards middle. Zio is still lurking here. He needs to keep himself alive. If he goes down, that's going to be a free passage towards the B bomb site. But the problem is that the bomb has been dropped in long, and Leetpro are 100% aware of this. Zio toying with his food at this point. Massacre, only 1 point of health. He could get sneezed on at this point, and he would get taken down. Zio making a bit of a meal of it at this point, but the fact that he's keeping himself alive is what's really important. And somehow Massacre is still dancing the dance of death. Eventually, he is going to receive treatment, and Neff left in a bit of a impossible situation here. 1 versus 3, no bomb in hand, only 18 seconds left on the clock. And he is sub 50 points of health. Tian wants to go for the knife. Not like this, Tian, just end him. And he may actually be waiting till the round ends. Neff has gotten himself into a 1 versus 1 here. There's no chance for him to get the bomb down. Tian shouldn't give him any chance to challenge. Somehow he lets the pride get the better of him, and he goes for the frag. If Neff had won that, that would have been absolutely magnificent. But a plethora or a range of errors coming out from Leetpro. Far too vicious in the attack there, looking for the frag. All about the KD, not about winning the round. And that mentality nearly costs them the round. Goliath Gaming going to commit to the force buy here. They got the scouts on Neff to work with, and he's going to have to try and find a couple of picks to damage some players. He's landed the tag up onto Zio, who was crossing towards B. And it's a pretty scary buy that's coming out from Goliath here. If Neff can land 1 more, ideally 2 more tags, that brings the CZs into play dangerously. So there we go. That's CZ coming into play already through Deviant. Takes down Narf. That's actually a very surprising battle that he just won against the FAMAS. Pity that we didn't catch that on camera. And Leetpro still only have 1 player towards the A bomb site. Slowy's not far away, but certainly not in an ideal position to deal with the short hit, which looks like Goliath may be queuing up at the moment. They are having a bit of presence towards the B bomb site. Very split up defense from Leetpro. 2 players hard on the B site and 2 players hard on the A site. They're going to have to get some yards done before or if they lose the bomb sites. Adaro, he goes through middle. He's going to get taken down by Tuckbook. Slowly comes through with the pick onto Massacre, and that's going to mean that that's going to prompt the push to come through middle. Deviant gets 1. That's going to be 2 for him for the round, but that's all it's going to be, as Leetpro still actually go on to win the round, only losing 1 more player after losing the initial pick. Goliath Gaming, unfortunately, not even getting the bomb down, so their money is, or their economy is not in a position to even buy any equipment or upgraded pistols. At least Goals does commit to the flash, which certainly going to help their cause trying to get into the B bomb site here, though you would expect Zio to Molotov this off. Standard play coming out from him. Goliath not going to be forcing it, but Tuckbook is not far away, and in fact he's going to Molotov straight afterwards as well. Spidey senses tingle and he peeks for a bit of info. May have spotted a head there. Goliath Gaming waits impatiently. The smoke is going to come through. That's not going to be stopping them this time. Tuckbook, he gets flashed off. The job is on Zio here. He gets a bit of a lineup, but only finds 1. Tuckbook, the last man in the bomb site here. Goliath Gaming find themselves with an opportunity. Deviant again getting the hard yards done in the pistol, or with the pistols. It's going to have to be a retake here for Leetpro. The bomb going down, already a victory for Goliath Gaming. And a Molotov not landing its mark, and it's actually going to be forcing Narf to hold off that much longer. All 3 of the Leetpro players are going to be retaking from the CT area as well, which means they're going to have a pretty one-sided attack coming through. They've got a couple flashes to work with. That's going to be Tian to try and get Narf and Slowy into the bomb site. First one comes through. Slowy does peek off of it. He gets a pick. Narf comes through. Slowy actually picks up the double, the triple, making easy work of the retake in a situation where they were looking a little bit dire. Leetpro complete the 3-round route at the start of the round after picking up the pistol, or the start of the half rather. But this is the important round where Goliath Gaming hopes need to be kept alive by winning it. Adaro has got the AWP, looking for a very aggressive long play here coming out. He does catch Nafzal, who seems to be trying to dodge a flash, but he is completely left in the open. I'm not sure if Leetpro, or rather Goliath, spotted Tianqi crossing towards Ditch, and that Molotov might force Neff out into the open. He has to expend a smoke to get out, but he still decides to swing out afterwards. Catches a ton of damage, does return the nade of his own. So although a couple of Goliath Gaming players have been brought down to low HP, they've found 2 picks of their own, and that's left the remaining Leetpro players incredibly disjointed. A nice late push onto the B bomb site there means Goals catches Tuckbook off guard, and he's going to gain complete control. The bomb comes through, and Goliath Gaming have achieved round number 1 on this second half, or rather their first round. If it was round number 1, it would be the pistol round. Shout out to the 9 viewers. Keep me company. Considering doing the Big 5 game against WRG at 10 o'clock. Might be a bit late though, I'm not sure. This is pretty much an appetizer for the weekend of CS. Both of these teams, of course, competing at Rush, and both of them have an air of expectation about them. I'm sure both of them would be vying for a top 3 spot. Of course, Energy is the favorites for the LAN, but from there on in, it's anybody's game, and that's really exciting. I'm not sure when the last time South Africa was so competitive for that second spot. Not to say they won't be competing for the first spot, of course. It's not a given that Energy are going to be winning in the event. They've just brought Mistum in, so they're not going to be 100% set. They've got the boot camp coming up this week, but they are certainly the favorites. Getting back into the game here, Leetpro going for the save. Zio, the only player committing to a full invest. And Tuckbook unfortunately caught a tag through the door, and he is the only player on B, so Goals is going to make light work of him. Zio trying to respond with the Dizzy Eagle, and he's just taking bullets through the door. Somehow he's able to find a 1-dig though. Slowy now might be able to capitalize on this double up of smokes. He does actually push through. He gets Massacre down to 2 points of health. 2 points of health still means that he is alive and kicking though. So Goliath Gaming going to be getting the bomb down shortly, and able to keep 4 players alive so far in this buy round. Important that they maintain a strong economy. They can't be in a situation where if they lose a round, they're forced to eco because, well, the scoreline explains why. GG are boot camping as well. Yeah, actually, I don't know why I didn't mention that. I'm aware of that. They're all up in Johannesburg at the moment. It looks like a great venue. I've seen a couple of pictures on social media. Got an amazing view. I mean, who doesn't need an amazing view when you're practicing CS? It's all about the inspiration. I just think it's great that a whole lot of the different top flight teams in South Africa are actually getting set bootcamp locations. Leetpro, I'm sure, I've got a headquarters. Goliath Gaming, not entirely sure about Big 5. Energy, of course. It's, XCC are boot camping at Arena this weekend, or this week. So we're going to have an incredibly competitive weekend. Going to set the tone for Comic-Con as well, coming up in September. What? It has a jacuzzi? That's not fair. Gamers don't need a jacuzzi. I feel like you're the one who's really taking advantage of that, Kirsten. Another eco ranger from Leetpro, and Deviant opens up with a frag onto an extending Zio, who tries to push through holes to try and get a bit of info. Unfortunately, all he receives is a bullet, and although Slowy's going to be hearing what's going on here towards short, I'm not sure how efficiently Leetpro are going to be able to respond. Tian is quite close here with the CZ, flashing himself towards long, but he's not going to have anybody to contest with. In fact, majority of the players are coming through short. Goals, though, is going to be the one-man presence through long, and doesn't actually make much of a difference as it's Adara picking up the double with the AWP, and he's been a really promising factor so far. I mean, certainly one of the stars of 2018 so far, making his name in Online Kingdom, and once an opportunity did arise in Goliath Gaming, he grasped it with both hands. Tian going to catch a nice exit frag there onto goals, and he actually spots out a second player. It would be great if he could deal some significant damage by taking down the AWP. I'm not sure if Goliath Gaming actually want to commit to the double AWP setup here. It doesn't make any difference. He has no say in the matter. And it looks like they will be committing to the double AWP setup. Adaro with the quad kill in the round. That's going to put him at 12 and 15. All right, so he's been a bit quiet this game. Maybe that quad kill was what he needed to unleash the beast. He's going to be AWPing mid doors, and Neff is going to be taking his AWP towards B tunnels. Maybe catch a player peeking through for some information. Slowy, though, is going to win the duel in middle, and that is a massive advantage for Leetpro. Not only because they find an early pick in the round, but it becomes a duel between the two AWPs, that mid control. It's personal. Slowy is looking for Massacre as he goes through the smoke there. He's going to find the pick. I've had X-ray off the entire time. I'm sorry about that, guys. That's pretty frustrating. Slowy actually found a second pick in middle there. Massacre tried to trade that out, working his way through, and this leaves Goliath Gaming in a precarious position. They do still have enough numbers to get some work done, but certainly at a disadvantage. Naf, he's able to take down Deviants as well. He's going to go for the repeat. Neff is good for the frag, and he's going to be able to catch Slowy off guard with his back to the wall, but it doesn't make a difference, and Slowy still picks up the double, and that's a quad for Slowy. So it seems to be the AWPers with the quad kills at the moment. How does everybody else pronounce their name? Do they say Adoro maybe? Adaru? Adaro. Alright, cool. Well, I'm glad to hear that I've been pronouncing it correctly. And what Goliath Gaming are trying to do is aggressive long presence. You can see they get themselves through here very quickly. Have a look at that HE grenade coming out from goals. Wow, that's inventive. Let's see exactly what that would have had the potential to do. So he throws it over this roof, and maybe it explodes around here. That's inventive. I like that. You can just goes to show that they've been creative on this map so far, and utilizing the change of skyboxes with the new Dust 2. Nice Molotov as well, clearing out that car position, which is an absolute nuisance. Tianki is going to be finding some action here. Naf is the one to find the pick though, and he's not going to be stopping there. He's got the SMG to work with, so he wants to maintain the close quarters. In fact, very good movement from him. Massacre takes down Naf, but he certainly doesn't expect Tianki to be so close. Slowy has been brought down to very low HP, and Goals on an aggressive push is able to get control of the A bomb site. So Goliath Gaming actually getting some traction in this round. In fact, they get the bomb down. It's going to have to be the retake here for Leetpro. Decent post-plant positions here for Goliath Gaming. Adaro finding one. Goals going to be locking down shorts as well. Zio won't be expecting him so close, although Zio still comes through with the frag onto Neff. And Tuckbork catches Goals as he drops through into CT. That's going to mean Adaro is the only player remaining. The quad kill came through. That was sick. He's going to have to get a 1 versus 2 clutch here to keep Goliath in the game. And Tuckbork is going to find that pick. So the 2 versus 3 retake actually comes through successfully for Leetpro. And just to follow on what I was saying there about keeping them in the game, I didn't mean that they would lose, but have a look at their economy. It's absolutely in the dumps at the moment. They're going to have pistols and armor to work with, maybe some SMGs, a scout perhaps in the mix, but certainly not favorable up against the full buy that's coming out from Leetpro. This is a great result for Leetpro. They've got a substitute playing for them as well. Bananas is certainly one of their heavy hitters, so that's going to be quite a good sign for them going into this weekend. Slowly going for the repeat up through towards middle. He does catch Deviant through the door, who was challenging with the scout. And an effective flash means that all of the 3 players who were originally there end up ducking like mongooses back into their homes. He does have a second bite at the apple, though, takes down Neff, and that's going to prompt the remaining Goliath Gaming players, at least majority of them, to make their way around towards the B bomb site. Adaro, though, towards A. He's going to have a little bit of presence here. In fact, he goes for a very aggressive play, and it comes through with 100% success as he finds Slowy and keeps himself alive. He's going to have to switch back to the Mac-10 though, and Goal's actually able to come through middle. He catches Zio off guard. All of a sudden, there's actually a great opportunity for Goliath Gaming this round. Tuckbok, he's getting Molotoved off. He hasn't moved far away enough from the flames. That means he's going to get burnt out. Naf still not even entirely sure of Adaro's position. He's completely fallen back onto the B bomb side. Goliath Gaming somehow finding an avenue of entry back into the round and keeping themselves in the game. And this flank from Goals is surely going to be enough to close out the round unless the players go through, and he just misses the timing. He does come through now. He's got the CZ, so it's not the ideal weapon for the situation. Tian able to rotate and flick back quick enough. They've got the kits, so it's not necessarily the timing that's going to lead to their demise here. Now finds one. Tian finds one as well. And Leetpro swinging the momentum back into their favor and closing out the round with another successful retake. Wow, there were a lot of retakes that went down in this game. It's a pity we can't see the summary of rounds, but there were a lot of retakes between both teams. So, I mean, that is very iconic of Dust, though, because the sites are really difficult to hold as the CTs. Although you might get 1 or 2 picks, you're going to be retaking frequently. So, if you want to make sure that you've got a powerful Dust, you need to make sure that your retakes are on point. So, yeah, everybody, thank you so much for joining me tonight. That is the end result, 16, I can't even remember exactly what it was, 16-8 in favor of Leetpro Esports. That's, like I said, incredibly surprising for me. I thought that Goliath would have had a little bit more in them there, but of course, rather be fine. To jump to a little bit of music now. Thank you so much for joining me this evening for this game. I don't think I'm going to be doing the next game tonight. I got to practice some Quake. Like I said, I'm casting some Quake this weekend. Before I do say goodbye, though, I'd really appreciate you guys subscribing to my channel. It would be much appreciated, as already said. So thanks a lot for joining me, guys, and I'll be seeing you again soon.